Hi guys, today I wanted to make some banana bread because we have some ripe bananas. I thought that'd be a good thing to make today. My throat is a little scratchy still. We had this like weird summer cold that is almost gone. If I'm doing that a lot, I'm sorry. So Andrew and I were kind of brainstorming and I wanted to come up with kind of like a new type of video for my channel, because if I don't have like a schedule for something, I just don't do it. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do videos where I cook either a meal, like just cook dinner with you guys, bake something, because I do bake often now, and just chat with you guys about different things, different topics. Sort of like if you watched my card chats like that, but instead of just sitting and talking, I'm gonna be doing something. Hopefully I can chat while doing this at the same time. So yeah, let me know kind of like what sort of topics you would like me to chat with you guys about. I have a couple things on my mind that I want to start with today, but I thought this would just be like a fun type of thing. Even like a grocery haul, and just kind of go more beyond just the groceries and just like chat about other stuff too. Today, I wanted to chat about the Taylor Swift concert because I got a ticket. It was a dream come true. I will forever be grateful. I want to talk about that. I'm not still on a high from it. I'm like crashing from it now because it's like over, and Andrew was like, okay, it's been a week now. I think you need to like move on with life. And I was like, no. So I got this from Etsy and it's kind of long though. So is it weird if I like get this altered? I want to have them like chop off a few inches and have it just be more of like a shorter t-shirt, because all the merch was sold out at the concert. Speaking of buying stuff though, I also want to talk about how expensive everything is right now, and grocery shopping was like so much sticker shock this week. I just couldn't believe it. Like butter alone, I think butter is what blew my mind. A thing of butter was like $10 for butter that we normally get. And the grocery store we usually go to is like, we spend the least amount of money there. We kind of know like what brands to get and whatnot. And the butter had to have been like at least $4 more than what I typically pay for. It's just wild. So because of that, and because of me working way less than I was, I want to chat more about that as we get into it. But we've had to like rework our budget and all that. I want to chat about just getting back into like our homeschool routine, because last week we kind of like officially started homeschool again. We still did stuff at home through the summertime, like here and there, but we're like really back into the groove, and I'm feeling very good about this year. Like I feel the best I felt so far. I just want to get back to the chit chat videos. If you guys don't like that, then I'm sorry, but I had kind of strayed away from that and got into more vlog videos, and I want to go back to where I started because I want to do less day in the life type of videos and do more like where I'm talking, because that's where I first started enjoying YouTube, was just to chat with you guys. I feel like I was losing connection on YouTube. It felt like I was just like filming our day, posting it, and it just felt kind of like lackluster to me. I feel like I need more of like a double-sided thing here. Okay, we're rambling. So I'm gonna start with this banana bread. I usually just pull up a random recipe, and once I find one that I really love and like everybody in the family likes, then I will pin it to my Pinterest. And then once I make it like at least 2 to 3 times, then I write it down in my cookbook. I have a cookbook that I write down recipes, and it's really nice to do that. I like feel like I'm just so longing to get back to like older things that we used to do, like writing down recipes. Like I just hate how everything is on our phone. I really don't love it. So here I am on my phone right now. Like I would so much prefer I love having cookbooks now out while I cook. Having to like open up your phone to a recipe, that is just not enjoyable to me. I'm using Simply Recipes. I will leave the recipe down below if you guys want the specific recipe. I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350 and start mashing my bananas. Okay, let's start with the Taylor Swift concert. If you guys are not Taylor Swift fans, I am sorry. You can fast forward this part. And I wore this shirt because of what? I was at the last LA show. If you guys are into Taylor Swift, then you're gonna know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you're gonna be like, you are crazy. Which is how Andrew feels, but it's okay. I was at the last LA show, which is when she announced her 1989 release and when that's gonna be. I'm gonna also butter this dish right now. I love this dish. It's just so like heavy and lovely. I always butter my dish with, where did I just put, oh, my mom always did this growing up with a Ziploc bag, and you just grab your butter, like room temp butter, and do it like that. So being at that show was super special because almost every outfit she walked out in was blue, and they were all new outfits. And the fact that like truly everybody in the audience knew what was going on and like noticed all of those little things, and our little light up wristbands were in between each song, they would all turn blue in the stadium, and everybody was just losing it, like freaking out. It was so funny. I was there with my sister-in-law and another friend who are all equally fans, and we would be waiting for her to come out, and we're like, the dress is blue. It was just like so much fun. And I feel like I have a special love for 1989 because I was born in 1989, so I just feel this like connection to that album. And that album was like the first album that got me into Taylor Swift. I didn't really listen to her. Let me start whipping these bananas. I didn't really start listening to her until then. Like I wasn't really into her country music. I was like, not for me. And then once she switched to pop, I was like, I love these songs so much. And then the rest is history. But yeah, I just feel like a bond with that album. So I was just happy that it was like all about 1989. It was just super fun. But it was like the best concert ever. It's my third concert of hers. I went to 1989. That's probably why I feel close to that album too. It's like the concert and everything. And then I went to Reputation, which was a great concert, but Reputation, like the imagery for everything is so dark, and like all the snakes, it's just red and black. So I feel like the concert was just, felt like the same note the entire time. That's why I wanted to go to this concert so bad, because you get everything. Like you get folklore and all of like the dreamy visuals. You do get Reputation, you get the fun 1989, and then you get bits of the country from Fearless. Like you just get all of it, and it was everything I could have hoped for. I'm gonna add into my, oh, this one you do melted butter. So I'm gonna add, I already melted this, a third cup of butter into here. This is gonna be hard for me to concentrate measuring while talking. Folklore was probably my most favorite era, and Lover was really, really good too. And I just loved her like outfit for that and everything. Okay, I'm gonna also add in just the rest of the ingredients to this. So we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And then I'm gonna use coconut sugar because for one, we're out of sugar. And coconut sugar is a little healthier, so we're gonna go with that. How I got the ticket was pretty crazy. So originally, I actually signed up to not go to the LA show, like when you register for getting tickets. I signed up for Arizona because I originally wanted to go with my best friend. We were gonna go together. She was pregnant, and so we wanted to go like early in her pregnancy. She, at this time, at the LA show, would have had her child by then. So that's why we signed up for that one. 3/4 cup. So then a friend, her whole office paid for a suite. And so that's how my sister-in-law got tickets. Her and her friend were gonna go with them. And I was just hoping to like go to the Vegas show, go to the Arizona show. I just kept like not getting tickets. And then by that time, my friend's suite was already booked, so there's no more tickets remaining for that. And all the tickets like were just so expensive for resale. Like I was kind of over it. I was like, I'm just not gonna go to the show. And then as it got closer, I thought I would be able to score like really cheap tickets as like a week of. because I heard that you could get tickets for like $50 the week of, and that just never happened for LA. So I was like, you know what? It's just not gonna happen. And at that point I bought myself an outfit because I was so convinced I was gonna get tickets and I was just gonna go with Andrew. The day before the last show of the concert, so Tuesday, the friend whose office had the suite texted me. She was like, Kendra, somebody backed out. I have an extra ticket if you want to go. And I was like, yes. And I was just like so in shock. It just really was a dream come true, and I'm just forever grateful that I got to go. I made some vanilla. We got everything in, I believe. Oh, probably should get some flour in here. This is the flour I use. It's the Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour. I use on everything, so I'm gonna fill this up right now. But yeah, the concert was great, and it was just so much fun. I love her concerts because she talks a lot. Like, we also just went to the Morgan Wallen concert, me and Andrew, and it was so fun. Like, it was a great time. But he's not like a good, I don't say he's not a good live performer. It's just not the same. Like, Taylor, I was trying to explain this to him too after Morgan Wallen. Her concerts are just so, like, they feel so intimate even though there's a ton of people there, because she talks a lot in between well, this time she talked a lot in between each era. And I feel like she's just so real on stage, like her facial expressions. It's like she's a professional performer. However, she, like, the facial expressions she makes like during the songs, it's just really funny. And we were just like so shocked because we were up late. Like, I don't think I went to bed till 2, and I go to bed at like 9:30 now. I was so tired, and I'm just like, how is she doing this 3.5-hour show every night? It just blows my mind. I know it's her job. I was saying that to Andrew, and he's like, this is her job. I'm like, I know, but still. I think it's just because it's so like opposite of my life that I'm just like, how in the world? I think this is everything. I feel like banana bread is, whenever I make it, I'm like, this is really not that many ingredients, and why don't I make this more often? I'm also gonna put some chocolate chips in, probably like half the bag of this. Let's move on from Taylor Swift. So our homeschool, I wanted to share about that because we now are like really trying to get back into the rhythm, and it was definitely like a break was needed this summer for myself to just like creatively reset and find that motivation again and like your why for doing this. And I read the best book. It was called Teaching from Rest, under 100 pages, and so good. I wrote down so many tidbits. She talks about having a little book that you keep and you write down Bible verses that you love, quotes from people, little things you want to remember, even just like phrases, write them down in a little journal, and it like helps you remember them more when you write things down. And I started doing that, and I wrote down so much from that book. I'll put that down below for you guys if you want to read it. It was just so encouraging, and I've told every single one of my homeschool moms, all my friends, to get that because it was so good. So it's just been kind of nice to get back into the swing of things, and today was like a really great day. We did so much stuff. We woke up and we started, like, I read out loud in the morning right away. I feel like that's a good way to ease into the day, and they each were coloring. What we've been doing, and Owen's been liking this, is picking out like your own coloring pages. So I literally type into Google, I let them choose. So like Owen wanted Spider-Man today, big surprise. And then June picked like garden, like the girls each picked their own thing, like whether that's like Lisa Frank, Hello Kitty. They all colored while I read to them. And it just kind of gets us going rather than starting like right off with like math. That just seems like too much to do right away. So we did that. And then, this looks so good. Let me show you guys. There we go, look how yum. Okay, this is going in the oven. Actually, I want to top this with some turbinado. That was called that sugar. Just gives it like a crunchy crust. It's really yummy. We read, and then we moved on to language arts. I did a little bit of the Good and Beautiful language arts, and it's nice. I like doing that sprinkled in with All About Reading. I don't think you need to do both every day, but we did just the Good and Beautiful language arts today. And then we did math, and we're using math with confidence. And I'm not that far into it, but so far I really like it. And one of my friends is doing 2nd grade and she really likes it too. And kindergarten she's doing it. So we did math, and then we had like a little break outside, and then we went to the park, and we came back and we did lunch, and then everybody went upstairs and we did puzzles and Legos, and now they're doing like quiet time in the room. So it just felt like the days flowed very nicely. And I'll tell you what is one thing that I've changed. I did not check my Instagram at all, like all day long. I checked it once they were in their rooms, and it's been like so different. Like I feel like usually I have my phone out and I'm randomly checking it throughout the day, and then I'll see something and it makes me distracted. I'll see like a DM and it's like a request for a link or whatever, which is totally fine. Like don't stop sending me DMs about things like that. But I feel like I need to have dedicated time to do that, because I get so easily distracted. Like my personality, I'll be doing one task and then I'm like over here decluttering, and then the next minute I'm getting the mail and it's just bing, bing, bing. So I need to really limit the distractions. And the book I read, Teaching from Rest, talks a lot about stopping the multitasking because it's so not productive. And that really like hit home for me, because I feel like in the past I would be doing something with the kids for school, like in the classroom, helping them out. But once they were good, I would like do something else or start prepping the next subject. Whereas I'm trying now to just be there present with what we're doing and not move on until we're moving on, you know, like not mentally prepping at all. And it is like, it makes a huge difference. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm just like very encouraged right now for this new year to just like slow it down. We have so much less going on this fall, and I'm at first I was like, it felt weird, like I'm not doing enough type of thing. Last year, guys, we were doing so much. I don't know if you remember, we did farm school, we did guitar, we weren't doing dance yet. They had their enrichment class, which one of our moms does, or not our moms, one of our friends, one of the moms of the kids, has a class one day a week. Art class, baking class, no, it was like crazy. This year, all they have is their enrichment class and piano. That is it. We're not doing any extra sports this fall. I felt like we did dance up until the summer, and we kind of just needed like a break. And I think the girls needed a break too. I did sign up Owen for T-ball, which I'm very excited about. So I feel like we're gonna let him have his thing this season. You know, in the past it's usually like the girls have their thing and Owen tags along and watches. So I think now it'll be like nice to have, he can have his little thing and then everybody else can watch and be there for him. Also, it's just kind of nice to save some money too. Like everything does add up between the gear and the signing, monthly costs and everything. So we're just kind of trying to have a simple fall. And also there's so much going on in the fall, winter anyways, with the holidays. And our co-op this year, we're doing more events. Like every other week we have an event. So between that, and we do Bible study now every other week. So it's like we have a lot of group get-togethers. So with that mixed in with activities, there's no room for actual school with the kids. So I really have to like pare down what we say yes to these days. And it's really hard for me because there are so many like cool things all the time that you want your kids to be a part of. But I have to tell myself like, these things can happen later. This is a small period of time. It's not like we won't have opportunities to do other things later in life. Okay, I did also want to chat about like prices of stuff and budgeting, since I am not working as much now and doing as many like brand things and whatnot because of homeschooling. Like since I started homeschooling, my goal was to really, you know, cut back on things and be with the kids, be here at home all the time. And so because of that, a lot of stuff had to change and shift. And with that comes a shift in income. And so I I am working on. I have to adjust like spending, because you get used to what you have each month and what you're buying and whatnot. And now I need to really like retrain myself to not just be making an impulse purchase. I have to really like cut down purchases and just be more intentional with what I'm buying. And I feel like there's usually like a saver and a spender in a relationship. I am the spender. I just like, if I am doing like good on saving for like a few weeks, the next week comes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get this, I need to get this, I need to get this. And it's like boom, 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 boom. So luckily I have Andrew, and I tell him all that, like we have budget talks every so often, and we'll like go over things and like what we can cut out, what has been added. And I always hate it at the time. I'm always like, oh no. But then afterwards, it like takes some time for it to like sink in. I realize, okay, yes, I can change this or whatever. And I'm always like so grateful for Andrew and how he is so like, everything is in order. He has this Excel chart. Girls are watching me right now. And I always tell him, more for you, like my spending habits would be so bad. One thing that's been crazy is grocery shopping. I'm not going to Costco anymore, because when we were going to Costco, we were spending way too much money. And I feel like even though we had way more snacks, they would go just as fast as when we had less. Like, because you see, like the kids would just see there's all these snacks and they'd just be eating snacks all day long. So we're just grocery shopping now once a week. Okay, I figured we can sit and chat the rest of the time. But I was saying I'm fine with shopping once a week. What's hard for me is if we go longer than 1 week and then we're out of like a few necessities, then I will go to the store midweek or whatever, like in between our normal grocery shop, and pick up a few things and end up spending it. That kind of wrecks then our grocery shopping flow. So we just need to be like good about going every Sunday or whatever day we're gonna do it, get our stuff that we need and plan our meals better, and just buy things that last longer. So I'm curious though, like if where you guys live, you've been noticing this. I mean, I know inflation is obviously happening, but I feel like I haven't really noticed it as much as I have this, like literally this past week. Like we went out to eat. I took the kids to get lunch this week. It cost us $60. We had been going out to eat a lot, I feel like, and just between our family, like we, you know, get takeout on Friday or whatever it is. We just can't do that all the time anymore. But I feel like overall, just like after this summer and everything, we had a very relaxing summer. Like I feel like we did a lot, but it never felt rushed or anything. It just felt nice. And I don't feel like it's over, because it's still hot and it's still August. But I guess it is over. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like, I feel like once it's September, then I'm thinking it's more fall. But I think I have a very fresh mentality right now going into this school year of just like being very intentional with everything that we do. Creating a very peaceful and calm home is my overall goal. And just being there for each of the kids when they need me without being distracted. Like that is the goal. And not feeling like we have to get to everything every single day, being okay if we don't, and not comparing what we're doing to every other mom that I follow on Instagram who homeschools like that. It's definitely hard. I need to just like limit the distractions and just be confident in what we're doing and do it well. That's kind of been those are my thoughts. Also, side note, we started a new devotional. Some of my friends, this summer went through Colossians. There's so many just like life verses in Colossians that I ripped out of there and pinned up in our bedroom because they're just so good. Our favorite devotionals, we did this She Reads Truth, wasn't crazy about it because they don't talk about things much. It's just like printed out the Bible basically. So we like the Daily Grace Co much more because it tells you what to read, gives you your verses for the weekend, it breaks it down day by day, and you really get to like dive into what everything is talking about. So we're doing Philippians right now. I feel like in the past I would just kind of like randomly open my Bible and read random verses, or I would start from the beginning and just try to work my way through, and I never did. So now that we're going book by book, not in any order, kind of, we're picking different books of the Bible. It just feels much more like I'm gaining so much more, I'm learning so much more. Just took the banana bread out. Forgot to set a timer, so I think it is done because I'm seeing brown around the edges. I just don't want it to be underbaked. Last time I underbaked it and it was totally gummy. So I think this looks pretty good. Good news, Owen ended up falling asleep. Yeah, I hate cutting the first piece of it. What?
I was on the roof for a little bit.
You were?
Yeah. I'll help you play.
Oh, also keep in mind if you're using coconut sugar, it'll make whatever you bake brown. So I used it one time when making coffee cake, and I feel like coffee cake has a distinct, you know, like pretty look of like the kind of white fluffy cake with like the cinnamon, the contrast of colors. When you make it with coconut sugar, it's just all brown, like all the same color. It kind of like throws you off. It looks really good. Oh geez, what if that just all fell? My favorite thing for breakfast, not healthy at all. Well, there's some bananas in here, but I love like a bread, like a warm bread for breakfast with coffee is my ideal right there. Butter. It's good. It's cooked all the way through. I was just worried about that. All right, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this new style, new format of video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next video.